All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. All three market indices down today. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. With that, anyone who does watch the show, we do go over the SPY every day. Then I am going to give you three stocks that are technically looking good going into tomorrow. And I have a subscriber had a question about one of the stocks that we already own. All right, with that, let's go into the SPY. All right, so as everyone knows, we did make a 52-week high here last Friday, and I did say if you did watch Friday show and yesterday's show, I did say let's really be careful. We're in this overbought situation. We're hitting this upper Bollinger Band, and any takeout of Friday's low you'll probably see a little bit of a pullback right down here to that 10 SMA. Well, we did gap lower today. We did claw back up intraday, and then we closed near the low of the day, but we always held Friday's low. So now going into tomorrow, same thing. We need to hold Friday's low. If we do not hold Friday's low, there's a high probability we are going to test initially this 10 SMA and then this midpoint Bollinger Band. All right. So again, if if you're sitting on the sidelines and you have a little bit of money to put to work, just be really patient. There's probably going to be a little bit of pullback, and then that's when you get in, okay? When we see these nice little pullbacks to these key levels right here, okay? That is the SPY. All right, with that, let's go first to the to the one subscriber with the question on TLRY. This was from Mike from Michigan. He did ask about TLRY. Look, I'm a big fan, Mike, of TLRY. I really do think this is going to be a huge winner for us. But technically, we did gap up last week. We're above that. The 10 SMA price is above that 10. The 10 SMA is above that 50, and that 50 is above that 200. As you know, every good-looking chart has those three indicators in that order. But in addition to that, we're above this value area high. And if you take a look what's above us, there's not many shares above us, Mike. So that means there's going to be very little resistance going forward. And so in my opinion, every pullback will be bought up and this will end up going higher. But let's check out the few other charts right here. As you can see, this is the 9 SMA chart on the weekly. Price is way above that 9 SMA on the weekly, so that is really good. And then lastly, that 513 EMA. Is the 5 EMA above that 13 EMA? And clearly, Mike, look at that. That 5 EMA is way above that 13 EMA right here. So that's looking good. So again, I really do think this one's going to be a big winner. Be a buyer of TLRY and then use or just add to those key levels down at that 10 SMA, and if you're lucky, all the way down to that 50 SMA in TLRY. All right, with that, Mike, we are going to move on and go into the three stocks that are technically looking good going into tomorrow, and the first one is going to be FUBO. So anyone who watched the show from yesterday, this was one of my picks from yesterday. And I did say if it does gap below that 50-day moving average, do not buy this. And clearly it did gap below that 50-day moving average, so no one should be in the name. But going forward, now it looks really good. Our risk reward setup is really good. Again, so if we gap above this 50-day moving average or open up flat, I would be a buyer. Okay, right at the open, and then use today's low as my out. So I'll buy this in two tranches. I'll buy right at the open, and then I'll buy a second tranche once we take out today's high. Okay, that is FUBO. Take a look at this one. I think this could run for, this could be a nice winner for us as well. Okay, but we are again using really tight stops on this one. Okay, second stock on the list is going to be WKHS. We have played this in the past. Did gap down here back in early December. Since then, it's based here for a while. Then about last week, we started to break above that 50-day moving average and that 10. And since then, we've had a really, really nice run. Now what? Well, again, look, the 10 is above the 50 is above the 200. We're right here above this value area high. There might be a little bit of resistance. I drew this trend line right across here to see if we can bust above that trend line. So again, look, be a buyer above today's high tomorrow, and then clearly use this 10 SMA down here as your stop price. Now, if we start taking today's low out tomorrow right away, do not buy, okay, do not buy, and then try to find better trade location closer to that 10 SMA, closer down here to that midpoint Bollinger Band, and then finally down here at that 50-day moving average. Okay, that is WKHS. Now again, let's bring this up on a couple of other charts to, just to confirm our bullish thesis in it. And if you look, that 5 EMA today was the first day on heavy volume that we crossed. So now we're beginning that really good uptrend that we need. Oh, this is not, sorry, that's SL. That's a different stock. Let's bring WKHS. Okay, here we go. As we see, that 513, the 5 is above that 13, and it's been up for a while. So there's a high probability this is going to be bought up on pullbacks. But remember those key levels. Just watch them carefully. Again, if we take out tomorrow or today's high tomorrow, go ahead and buy it. Use that 10 SMA as you're out. And then if it takes out today's low tomorrow, just sit on your hands and watch for better trade location. Okay, that's WKHS. Last stock on the list. I've watched this one for a while. It's intrigued me for a couple of weeks. It is QS. So as you know, QS went on this massive run here from early November all the way up to 132 bucks. And now it's pulled back to some levels that actually make sense for us if we want to get into the name, right? We're not too far from this 50-day moving average. So for tomorrow, let's see if we can take out today's low tomorrow. If we do, try to buy this down here as close as possible to this 50-day moving average, which tomorrow should be right around that $50 mark. If it gaps down and we can defend this 50-day moving average, great. But remember, any close below that 50-day moving average is going to have to be a sell. So again, put this on your watch list. Put some alerts on there. And if we could get this right there at that $50 mark, $51 mark, and using that 50-day moving average as your stop price, I think we're setting up for success. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend, and I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. And if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. And if you know someone who loves to trade, who loves the market, go ahead and send them the link. I really do think they're going to appreciate it. I try to give you entry points, why we're getting into the, into the security, why we're getting into the stock, exit points, why we're going to get out, some key levels. And I really do think eventually you're going to, trade your own setups. All right, everyone, have a great night. We will see you tomorrow after the close. And remember to trade smart and be safe.